All right, what's up, everyone? Janitor Jake here. Give me a minute to make sure that everything is situated, and I will get going with the live stream. I know I should have already prepped and did this already, but uno mas. All right, I got to check the audio, make sure that the audio is working fine. All right, I got to check the audio. Seems like it's good. Now the dogs are going to freak out. Okay. I do believe we are good to go, so I'm going to check something real quick, and I will get going with the stream. All right, looks like everything is working properly, so let's get the show started, shall we? So today I am going to be playing Chopper Command for the Atari 2600 or the Atari VCS by Activision. So another Activision game, and this time I do actually own the manual. Now, I did play this a while ago. I do not remember every single intimate detail about it. And one thing that I do find unique about these games is that the manuals by Activision are not your stereotypical manual that you flip through like a book. It is more like a pamphlet, which I think is kind of unique. It's something different. And another thing that I think is really cool is that they talk about in every single one of their games that I have owned up to this point, they always have this thing in here where if you reach a certain score, you can take a picture of your television screen, send it into them, and they usually give you like a patch or something. Right here, it's join the Activision Commandos. I have skiing, and you could have with that game you could join the Activision ski team. So I think it's really really cool. But there are only 4 games in here. Game 1 is 1 player, and Game 2 is 2 players. Game 3 is 1 player, and Game 4 is 2 players. So really only 2 single-player games. So I think it's pretty straightforward from what I get. We'll just hop right into it, shall we? So without further ado, let's pop the puppy in and get going. Let me fix this. Okay, now I need to make sure. I think that's everything because I am playing on my newer Atari console, my Vader version. I had the original Light Sixer Atari console, and it just started to poop out on me. So I went and grabbed my Vader version, which I believe came out around November of 1982. And there we go. We are going to play Chopper Command. We are going to go Game 1. We are not going to go black and white because we have a color television, so we will go with color TV. So without further ado, let's get going. So the main objective is, I love that. Look at that. So first thing, right off the bat, I love that it's like machine gun fire. You have rapid fire, and I love that. Your basic goal is to shoot all the enemy aircraft, and you are supposed to protect them. It's a convoy. It's an escort mission, basically. In most modern games, I have always hated escort missions, but this game is basically an escort mission. Kind of, sort of. I don't think you necessarily get punished. Like, yeah, there you go. So I won. So you have to clear out the different waves, and as the game progresses on, the waves become more and more intense. And so that's why I'm really taking my time with this, because you can fly around like crazy, and if you do that, usually things get extremely chaotic and it becomes very hard to play. I also try to keep an eye on the map at the bottom. The manual actually does call it something. I think they call it your radar. I don't remember. I could look, but I'm too busy playing. There you go. And every time you clear out a wave, you go to the next wave. And this is the type of Atari games I'm very used to. Yeah, see, I lost a vehicle. I think you get points for whatever vehicles are left on screen. But this is why you can't fly around and go crazy, because of that. And now they're actually starting to move closer to me. So I can actually sit still here. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Okay. When you're on like wave 1, if you sit still, the screen doesn't move. But as you progress through the waves, they do begin to move. And that's right, every 10,000 points, you do get an extra life. But like I said, this is where things start really going crazy. Alright, I'm just going to have to ignore him. Go. This is when it's like, it's going to get really tough to talk and play. Alright, come back around, try to find them. Ooh, there's a guy right there. Oh, you son of a gun. And I'm not even that far in. I think I'm only on, like, what, wave 5 or something now? And Matt says, I prefer to play on my Vader console. You son of a gun! That's why you can't just be like, oh, la-di-da, just fly and go crazy because of stuff like that. Actually, I'll try going backwards. Let's see here. Yeah, my Vader console, I prefer playing games on my Vader console as well. I think just for me personally though, it's because my Light Sixer has been pooping out on me. So maybe if the Light Sixer wasn't being used up, wasn't in such rough shape, it might even be better. I don't know. But maybe the Vader console did have better plastic and stuff put on it, so. But I do like the Vader console. I don't know why it's making a bunch of scratchy noise. I'm assuming just because it's the RF, you're gonna hear all that noise. But yeah, that was Chopper Command. Definitely a fun game. I will say a lot better than what was the last one I played? Star Voyager. Yeah, Star Voyager was a really bare bones, basic minimum game compared to like Star Fox, and Star Fox was way better for the Super Nintendo. I don't know if I own Star Fox for the Atari, and I don't think it's the Star Fox that most people are familiar with. No, I own Solar Fox, not Star Fox. Alright, and so you cannot push the button, you can't do anything if you want to continue the game, you just have to hit game, reset. So here we go, let's see how many waves I can get going through here. See, like right now, if I just sit still, oh, it does move. I did not think that the screen actually moved, but apparently it does. But yeah, you want to try to save as many vehicles as you can, so you can max out your points. And you can kind of move it too, like if it's hard to explain, but when the helicopters drop the bombs or whatever, you can kind of move, and like if you move the screen, you can kind of sort of have the projectiles dodge the caravans or whatever, dodge the trucks. But I love the animation. Like, I love the animation of the trucks, like their wheels are actually turning. That can get hard, though. Like, the hit detection seems to be, you really have to be pixel perfect. But with a lot of these older Atari games, you really did have to be pixel perfect. They did not, like, allow any leeway whatsoever. But I love the animation of the vehicles driving, the helicopter. Even though you don't see the propeller actually spinning, it judders, giving the illusion that it's spinning. But probably the biggest thing that I love is the background. I love that deserty look. I just assume it's during a sunset, so I think it looks really cool. Then again, if it was during a sunset, it would probably be less blue and more orange, so it's probably a sunrise. Especially if it's military, it's probably definitely a sunrise that they would be doing all this. early in the morning. Early in the morning. I don't even remember what wave I'm on, but at least I got 10,000. So now I need to really concentrate to try to get 20,000 points to get an extra life. Alright, still got a couple more. I think that's the last group, these last two. Try to position myself so I can actually smack them. That's the thing, it's like they seem like... It seems like they're moving pretty slow, but then they get right up to you, and then they do that. Darn it. I got about 4,000 more points left to go. So I really need to not get hit. I can try to chase him down. Whew. Alright, got him. Come on! 16,000. So, and that's also kind of cool too. Activision always seem to love doing that in their games, slapping their name down there. Copyright of 1982, and like I said, this game came out in June of 1982. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, oh, well, it's like a Defender ripoff. Defender ripoff. To be honest, I don't know when Defender came out in the arcades. If it came out, I'm assuming Defender originally came out in the arcades. I don't know if Chopper Command, if that came out in the arcades. But if we're looking at just the Atari, both Defender and Chopper Command actually came out in June of '82. So they came out pretty much right around the same time. So if one's a ripoff of the other, I don't know. But it just seems really funny because Defender is an Atari game, but Chopper Command is an Activision game. So there might be some history in there. Maybe Chopper Command stole the idea, because this is very Defender-esque. But the funny thing is, this is Activision. And it just seems, it's like just perfect timing. So it seems like somebody did it on purpose. Like Defender came out in June of '82, and then like Chopper Command also came out in June of '82. And so it seems like a pretty good coinky dink that just happened to happen. You know what's happening? Alright. I need to pay attention to the waves that I'm on. And now I'm just doing like trash. Usually I don't die until I hit 10,000, but... And usually by this point it's like, well, you might as well just start over. So that was Chopper Command. Definitely a fun game. I'm going to go on to game number 3, which is... I don't remember. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look in the manual here real quick. Yeah, cadet level. So game number 1 is cadet level. Game number 3 would be commander level. So the long-range scanner, that's what that is. At the bottom of the screen the long-range scanner at the bottom of the screen will enable you to detect both approaching truck convoys, friendly, and enemy aircraft well ahead of time. So, there are increasing levels of intensity. Each level will start with a wave of 12 enemy ships. So, 12 helicopters and different aircraft. Each wave being faster than the one before. Multiple warheads, which will split in 2. I wonder how many waves before it maxes out, because usually in a lot of these games, you'll do like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and then finally like it maxes out at 5, and then every wave after that is the same intensity as wave 5. Yar's Revenge kind of sort of did that, but it did get faster and faster and faster. I'm not sure when Yar's Revenge maxes out, but I know a lot of these max out, because it can't... With a lot of the earlier ones, I know it did not seem like they kept going faster and faster, because eventually things would be a blur and it'd be impossible. So I do believe they max out after a certain number of waves, but I don't see a max out in here. You have an unlimited supply of ammunition, which I think is awesome. And it's cool, too, that it's like a laser cannon instead of like a bullet. You figured you're in the military, you have convoys, you're in a helicopter, you'd be shooting bullets, but instead you're shooting lasers because of space. Everyone loves space at this time, so Destroy All Humans for the American Gaming Geeks. Go check that out. The original on PS2. You have helicopter reserves, so for every 10,000 points, you get an extra helicopter. A maximum of 6, so you cannot actually go beyond 6. And that is it. So, I'm going to go on to game 3. They didn't say anything about the difficulty select. Sometimes they don't actually utilize that. Oh, okay. So if I go to hard mode, I won't be able to fire as fast. Gotcha. Alright, we'll try this. Yeah, right off the bat, I think this is already at the max level. This is like wave 7, basically. I don't know. Maybe it is wave 5. But yeah, it basically starts off like right off the bat at the hardest wave possible. So that's the thing, like, if you get really, really good during your novice settings and you start getting bored with it, and you're like, come on, hurry up, I want to get to the fast-paced gameplay, then you just throw it on hard mode, and it takes you right into the fast-paced gameplay. I'm trying to get that shit. There we go. But yeah, and that's the other thing, too, you cannot get, yeah, already dead. You cannot get too close to your convoy. If you actually get down on the ground, you can actually crash into your the trucks, and you can destroy your trucks and your ship. Look at this. So you destroy both of them if you do that. But yeah, this is definitely intense. And this would be way too hard for me as a novice at this game. I'm not good enough at the game to really jump in here and do something like this. So I would have to go on slow mode. And the thing is, too, your chopper moves very slow. So while they're flying around up and down, like going crazy, the chopper itself moves very slow, up and down. That was lucky. Yeah, it's almost like you got to try to get in between. Well, that's why you would use your radar, I guess, right? So, I'd have to look at the radar from MASH, radar from MASH, and then like try to get. Yeah, I don't want to get in between them because then I risk getting hit from a bullet from coming down and a bullet going on top. So you almost want to stay above or below them. Obviously, it'd probably be safer staying above everything. So then you really only have to worry about the missiles or whatever coming from below, hitting you at the top. And if you really wanna kick her in the pants, you switch it over to expert mode, which on the Tell games I think they call it novice and expert. I don't remember. And on the Vader version, I believe it's novice and expert as well. Now I think I have a slower rate of fire. Oh, look at that. That's crazy looking. It feels like it's longer, like I can actually hit them. It's weird. I'm not saying it's easier, but it's interesting. Because when I'm firing, they seem to jump up into it, which is pretty funny. Like, while my single shot is still on screen. Huh. I'm gonna go back to game number 1, Cadet. Because now they should be moving a lot slower. See, that's what makes it harder to hit them, but if they move up into your shot. Well, that is kind of cool seeing the laser blast go that slow. But alright. I'm going to put it over to B mode, and I'm going to see how many waves I can get through this time. For real. For realsies, I'm going to see how many waves I can get through. without screwing up too bad. That means no talking, no commentary, just gameplay. I always say that and then I start talking again. Alright. There we go. Yeah, like I said, I really love the background. It makes me really nostalgic for the desert and canyons and stuff, even though I've never traveled out to the desert or the canyons. I've just seen it in movies and video games and always wanted to go to places like that. Okay. And I love, too, that they're able to put different colors in there. I mean, obviously, you want to see a colorful game, look at Yar's Revenge, look at Breakout and Super Breakout and stuff like that. There are very colorful games, but I love, like, the utilization. Like, they did not just stick a brown mountain in the background. They stuck a black mountain, and then a brown mountain behind it, and then, I guess, emulating the sun. Sunrise or sunset? I wish it was a sunset, but it looks more like a sunrise. Ah, come on! That's probably my mistake too, is I keep trying to hit it instead of like running away from it. Like if I get a black plane coming up on me, I should just run away from that thing. Like here, back up. See, they're all going crazy. And I can't hit any of them. Go. Come on now. Finally. Holy cow. Oh, you bugger. That's the thing, too. You might figure, well, there's a trick. Just stay on one side of the screen. But you can't because of that. They sit there and they'll charge you like that. So I can't just, like, sit here and let them come at me. It's like, alright, we'll just sit here and then all you have to do is worry about the up and down. But it's like I can't really do that because they like to hover above you, too. So, makes it definitely a difficult game once you get up around wave 5 and stuff like that. Things get really crazy. But it's a fun game. Definitely a fun game. It's definitely difficult, though. It's not... I still like Yar's Revenge better. I still love Demon Attack and stuff like that a little bit better. I don't know if I'll like Defender better. I won't find that out until tomorrow when I play it. But, I like the way in Yar's Revenge and in stuff like Demon Attack how the difficulty slowly ramped up. It gradually got harder and harder. And here it does it, but it feels like it does it like... Instead of doing single steps of difficulty, they do multiple steps. So game number, wave 1 is okay. It's good. Wave 2, it's a little bit harder. Then wave 3, it's even more harder. And then it's like wave 4, they just crank it up. And you're like, whoa, holy cow, you need to calm down. But I think there's a lot of tricks and stuff eventually you start to figure out. And I know people who, like, break world records and probably get, like, millions of points on this game. I guarantee, like, they probably just fly around like crazy and they have, like, very specific patterns and crazy stuff that they probably like to do. See, that's where it's going to get tough, okay. Thank you. And I'm glad I actually have a really good controller. Because sometimes a lot of the Atari controllers, like after a while, will poop out on you. The buttons, you have to push like hard on the buttons, and it makes it kind of difficult to deal with. This one is very sensitive and like really nice, and it's used. Like that's the thing. It's not hard and stiff. It's really nice. All right, I need some extra. Oh, for crying out loud. That's the thing, like, if I just try doing all that, like, just going through there like crazy, I will not do good. Alright, I'm gonna try it one more time, and I think I will call the live stream. Ooh, that was close. Alright, so that was wave number 1. I lost one, I'm gonna call it a ship, one vehicle, which is waste of points. Like I said, you want max points, you gotta save all the vehicles. Ugh. I'm just glad like I said, I'm really glad I don't have to spam the button. You can just hold it. So that was wave 2. This is wave 3. It's just so slow moving up. So slow. And then they just like surround you like that, and it makes it really tough. And this is wave 4. Here we go. Holy cow. That was cheap. So anyway, that was Chopper Command for the Atari 2600. Definitely a fun game, but I would say the frustration factor is a little too high. It seems to be more like for, I don't know, advanced gamers that are into this kind of game. At this point, I have never played a game. I don't own a game up to this point that I have played that has been like Chopper Command. The only thing I can compare it to is a game that I know of from the past that I have not yet played, and that is Defender. So, yeah, I have not played a game like this where you go back and forth shooting like crazy like that. Like I said, some of my favorite games, Space Invaders. Now I gotta sit here and look at them. Space Invaders, Missile Command, uh, Asteroids, Demon Attack, Yar's Revenge. They all had like a nice soft difficulty at first. It was nice and easy, and then gradually ramped up, ramped up, and you were able to play for quite a while before you would die. At least when I did. When I played those games, I was able to play quite a while before I actually bit the dust. But this game, you pop it in, you play for a little bit, you play for it, boom, and you're dead. And it's like, holy cow, really? And you do it again. It's fun, it's addicting, it's like all this fast nature, but I think it's too fast, it ramps up too quickly, even being on easy mode, it's just a little bit too difficult. It's fun, but you really would have to play it a lot, and you won't get, at least for me, I did not seem to get a whole lot of gameplay out of playing it for the first time. You throw it in, like I said, I threw in Yar's Revenge. I was able to play it and play it and play it and play it before I died. This one, you start playing, bam, you die. Okay, start over. Start playing, bam, you die. And it's just really, really difficult. And it's not even that difficult. It's just, that's all, that's the only thing I can think to say about it. So, Chopper Command, it's an okay game. It's pretty fun. I like the look of it. It's good for that fast nature gameplay. But if you might think it's a little difficult, then again, every gamer out there thinks stuff like this is super easy peasy. I'm pretty sure everyone out there can get a million, billion, trillion points, no problem at all. So, with that being said, then yeah, I guess it's the greatest game in the world. But for me, not really. No, it's a little bit too difficult. Would I find myself coming back to it? Yeah, probably, but there are other games that I would definitely come back to a lot more rather than this game. And yeah, up to this point, I don't know, like Space Invaders, Asteroids. I don't know if I like those better than this game. I feel like I can play them, and it's a lot more easygoing. And this one's a little bit more intense. But I love the graphics and I love the gameplay of it. It just feels a little bit difficult. But with that being said, I think I'm going to skedaddle. So I will see everyone tomorrow, and I will be playing Defender for the Atari 2600 or Atari VCS. So with that being said, I'm going to take off. So whatever, I'm Janitor Jake, and I will see you guys next time.